Good morning. I want to talk to you about PFAS. And I'm reading from both the Environmental Working Group and Dr. McCullough's information. PFAS is everywhere and it's causing harm to our bodies in a big way. So, the PFAS stands for um, per polyfluoroalkyl substances, which contain a strong carbon fluorine bond that allows them to accumulate over time in the environment and in the bodies of animals and people. They pose health risks. They pose large health risks. PFAS chemicals might also be thought of as everywhere chemicals since they become so common in the products that we use every single day. So I'm going to go to a list of some of the things they're in, things to avoid. Um, Endocrine disrupting chemicals are linked to cognitive deficits, obesity, diabetes, male and female reproductive dysfunction, birth defects, cardiovascular disease, and other chronic diseases. And we know there's so much disease today, so much more than ever before. It's because of the toxins that we're consuming and that are touching our skin. So these are the recommendations from Dr. McCullough. His 5 tips, adapted from an article by Trasande, Trasande. Beware of certain cookware. Non-stick pans contain PFAS that slow the metabolism rate and cause weight regain. Cast iron and stainless steel cookware are good alternatives. I've switched to those a few years ago for this reason. Use glass to store your food in and reusable storage bags at home to bring food home from the grocery store. Fight indoor pollution. Flame retardants used in mattresses, carpets, furniture, and electronics accumulate in household dust, impairing thyroid function. Open windows and use a wet mop to diminish them. Check if your upholstery has added flame retardants. There's also heavy-duty flame retardants in children's pajamas. The open window idea is great. I open mine all the time, but you've got to maintain your humidity, especially if you live in a humid environment. You really need to maintain humidity between 40 and 50%. So have a dehumidifier on hand. If you air your house out and it drives your humidity up, just bring it right back down. Eat organic and avoid canned foods. Organic food is free from GMOs and pesticides, which may disrupt the thyroid, impair cognition, and cause cancer. Choose grass-fed, humanely raised meat and dairy products. Canned foods may contain biphenyls, which are estrogenic. They mimic estrogen and make fat cells larger. They persist in the environment, double the type 2 diabetes risk, which is way on the rise the past 20 years. And I had it. And likely pose toxicity to embryos. Do you wonder why babies have cancer and horrible diseases when they're babies or they're young, 2 years old? Like, how did they get it? Well, they got it from their mom. They got it from it. They've measured the umbilical cord blood, and it's just scary what they're finding in umbilical cord blood. And I read a recommendation several years ago that said if you want to get pregnant, detoxify your body for 2 years before you get pregnant. Don't use pesticides on your lawn and remove shoes when you enter your house. Don't microwave and avoid packaged goods. A microwave-safe label is misleading because microscopic polymers break down and they get into food. Processed and packaged foods contain high fructose corn syrup, artificial sweeteners, pesticides, and other obesogens. Phthalates in food packaging and takeout containers can impair lipid and carbohydrate metabolism and increase weight. Avoid vinyl and plastic. Use a cloth shower curtain that can be machine washed. These stay cleaner and last longer than vinyl. Replace luggage and backpacks with products made of organic blend canvas. Obesogens program cells to hold fat for generations. Yeah, generations. Now, I found this map this morning. So I found this map this morning. It came to me on the Environmental Working Group, ewg.org. You can get this map yourself. Just take a look at the PFAS contamination in the U.S. as of November 28, 2023. Now, it's highly concentrated where there's highly concentrated populations, of course. So let's just take a look at that. There's something that Dr. McCullough didn't mention, but there's way so much information that can only be in. You can't put so much into an article, but avoid plastic water bottles. Like the plague, avoid plastic water bottles. Get yourself a stainless steel lined container and put your filtered water in it. I did a video last summer, a very short one, and you could check this out yourself. Go to the Environmental Working Group website and type in your zip code, and they'll give you all of your water supply source options. Like mine was the city of Tallahassee, but there was Talquin and several others in my area on there for wherever your water comes from. And it says just how contaminated your water is. Now, you see these reports that come out. The cities put out reports that say how great their water is, and they boast about it every year. And they boast about it because they compare it to the federal guidelines, which the federal guidelines are they're like trash, okay? The federal guidelines are so low, you cannot go by federal guidelines. Environmental Working Group has some guidelines, and it also shows you what's in the water, and it shows you what kind of filtration you need to take out different toxins that are in the water. So I first started distilling my water a few years back, and then I bought a Berkey filter, and I try not to drink any water that has not been filtered very well. I also try not to drink bottled water or anything in a plastic bottle, although occasionally I do have to. You get in a pinch and you have to. But let that be the occasional thing, not the everyday thing, because that will just add these toxins to your body and just open your cells up for disease. So there's so much more to talk about on this subject, and I'll have more videos coming as I'm able to put the time into it. I hope you're blessed by this today. I hope you learned something by this today. And just feel free to ask me any questions in the comments if you'd like, and I'll get back to you. Thank you.